Good morning, everyone. I am Professor Prajakta Subramani, Assistant Professor, Pharmaceutical Chemistry Department from Shivajirao S. Zondhe College of Pharmacy, Asangaon, District Thane. Today, I am going to take a lecture on anti-tubercular drugs, which is involved in PCI R 2019 syllabus, semester 6, third year B Pharm. Contents of my today's lecture are introduction, mode or transmission and symptoms, causes, test and diagnosis, classification of anti-TB drugs, conclusion and references that I have used. So, introduction. Tuberculosis is a chronic granulomatous disease which is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which most commonly affects the lungs. Mycobacterium tuberculosis organisms are also called tubercle bacilli. It is major health problem in developing countries, okay, not in developed countries, but it is developing as well as undeveloped countries. It is currently estimated that half of the world population, that is 3.1 billion, is infected with Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Global emergency tuberculosis kills 5,000 people per day. So, rate of mortality is high. 2.3 million die each year. So, there are different types of TBs, that are pulmonary tuberculosis, avian tuberculosis, which is caused by Mycobacterium avium, and it is from birds, okay, the bacteria which is present in the birds. Bovine tuberculosis, which is caused by Mycobacterium bovis of cattle, and miliary tuberculosis or disseminated tuberculosis. So, historical perspective, so the Robert Koch in 1882 announced to the Berlin Physiological Society that he had discovered the cause of tuberculosis. 3 weeks later, he published an article and which is entitled by the etiology of tuberculosis. Okay, so he was the first expounded Koch postulates which have since become basic to studies of all infectious diseases, and he had observed the bacillus in association with all causes of the disease had grown the organism outside the body of the host and had reproduced the disease in a susceptible host inoculated with a pure culture of the isolated organism. So, that is all about the history. So, when Koch was awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine, he devoted his acceptance speech to promoting greater understanding of tuberculosis and its causative agent. So, the common sites of tuberculosis disease are, so the TB germs are most commonly found in the lungs, but sometimes they can move to other body parts such as lungs, pleura, central nervous system, liver and spleen, lymphatic system, genitourinary system, bones and joints, and disseminated, that is miliary TB. So, the diagram is showing that the different sites where the TB infection is caused. So, there are three types of TBs are there, like MDR, XDR and TDR. So, multi-drug resistance, pre-extensively drug resistance and extensively drug resistance, okay. So, MDR is caused by the TB bacteria that are resistant to at least isoniazid and rifampin, the 2 most potent drugs. The pre-extensively drug resistant TB, it is a type of MDR TB which is caused by the bacteria and which are resistant to isoniazide, rifampin as well as fluoroquinolone, or by the bacteria that are resistant to isoniazide, rifampin and second line injectable amikacin, capreomycin and kanamycin. Extensively drug resistance, that is XDR-TB. It is a rare type of MDR-TB caused by the bacteria that are resistant to isoniazide, rifampin, fluoroquinolones and second line injectable antibacterial agents. So how the evaluation of TB can be takes place? So it can be takes place by 4 methods. So HIV test, medical history, physical examination and bacteriologic or histologic exam. So if the person is HIV positive, then there are the chances that the person may be caused in future 100% by the TB, because the immune system it gets lower. So the attack of mycobacteria it will be easier than healthy people in HIV peoples. So the test and diagnosis, let's see in short. Okay, when someone comes into contact with the tuberculosis or feels as if they became infected by tuberculosis, they should call a doctor and order to a skin test. Okay, doctor will inject a small amount of tuberculin under the skin, and if a person have been exposed to tuberculosis, a swelling will develop around the spot where the skin test is given. Okay, now blood test. This is used to sophisticated technology to measure your immune system reaction to TB bacteria. Sputum test, X-ray of chest shows the sign of TB. So your doctor may take sample of your sputum to the mucus and that comes up with your cough. So now let's see the classification of anti-TB drugs. So based on chemical moiety, it is classified into 5 classes: salicylic acid derivatives, pyridine derivatives, pyrazine derivatives, ethylene diaminobutanol and antibiotics. So para-aminosalicylic acid is a derivative of salicylic acid. Isoniazide and ethionamide are the derivative of pyridine. Pyrazinamide is the derivative of pyrazine. Ethambutol is the derivative of ethylene diaminobutanol. And streptomycin, rifamycin and kanamycin. These are some antibiotics. So classes of the drugs: first line drugs, second line drugs and newer drugs. So when the TB infection is high, okay, so these first line drugs have high antitubercular efficacy as well as low toxicity, but the second line drugs, they are either have the low antitubercular efficacy or high toxicity, or both. So first of all, doctor prefers first line drugs, and newer drugs are given by the combination with the first line or second line drugs. So first of all, most commonly used isoniazide, which is also known as isonicotinic acid hydrazide. It is tuberculocidal. It is structurally similar to pyridoxine. First line medication in prevention and treatment of tuberculosis. Isoniazide is available in tablet, syrup and injectable forms and can be given intramuscular or intravenous. Bacteriostatic at low concentration and bactericidal at high concentration, especially against actively growing bacteria. So MOA, it inhibits the biosynthesis of mycolic acid, which are essential constituents of the mycobacterial cell wall, and the dose requires 5 mg per kg. Okay. So the mechanism of action and the basis of resistance. So they inhibit synthesis of mycolic acids, which are essential components of mycobacterial cell walls. So it is highly selective for Mycobacterium. And how the resistance is going to produce, because it's a product and it is activated by the enzyme catalase peroxidase. So mutation causes inhibition of this enzyme, and no cross resistance occurs with the other antitubercular drug, and always it is given in the combination. So this is the synthesis of isoniazide. 4-methylpyridine when reacts with undergoes oxidation, so oxygen is added to the CH3 methyl group and it forms acidic form, and it forms the acidic form intermediate. Again it reacts with hydrazine, so dehydration takes place and it will gives isoniazide. So next drug is pyrazinamide. It is chemically similar to isoniazide. It is weakly tuberculocidal, more active in acidic medium, and it is a prodrug and converted into pyrazinoic acid in the body. So MOA, it inhibits mycolic acid synthesis, same. Now the dose is 25 mg per kg. It is relative of nicotinamide. It is stable and slightly soluble in water but weak drug, inactive at neutral pH but active at pH 5.5, and at this pH it inhibits tubercle bacilli. It is taken up by macrophages and exerts its activity, and highly effective during the first 2 months of therapy where the bacteria are in growing process. Next drug is ethambutol. It is tuberculostatic, so the MOA is okay, and the ethambutol is a planar structure. It is a straight line structure. No cycle is present, no benzene ring or no aromaticity or no any unsaturation is present in this drug. It inhibits arabinosyl transferases that are involved in mycobacterial cell wall synthesis. It disrupts arabinogalactan synthesis by inhibiting the enzyme arabinosyl transferase. Now the dose is 15 mg per kg. It is a synthetic water soluble heat stable compound and dispensed as the dihydrochloride salt. Additionally, it slows the rate of sputum conversion. It is development of resistance given in the combination with rifamycin. Now mechanism of action is it inhibits arabinosyl transferases, which is an essential component of mycobacterial cell wall. So due to alteration in target gene, it got resistance. No cross resistance with other drug. So resistance to ethambutol emerges rapidly when the drug is used alone combination with other antitubercular drugs. This is a synthesis of ethambutol. When 2-nitro-1-butanol is exposed to reduction, it gives one amino product, that nitro group converted to amino group, okay, 2-amino-1-butanol. This 2-amino-1-butanol, we got it, we taken it 2 moles, and again these are reacted with ethylene dichloride. Removal of 2 molecules of hydrochloric acid takes place with the formation of ethambutol. Now second line drugs. These drugs are considered only when resistant to first line agents, failure of clinical response to conventional therapy, serious treatment limiting adverse drug reactions. Now expert guidance to deal with the toxic effect is required. So for example, PAS, cycloserine, kanamycin, amikacin, etc. Now PAS, para-aminosalicylic acid. It is a folate synthesis antagonist that is active almost exclusively against Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is structurally similar to para-aminobenzoic acid. and it is synthetic second line agent. It is used in combination with streptomycin as well as isoniazid in a long term treatment, that is which can be run into 6 to 9 months. So the synthesis is when 2-hydroxybenzoic acid, that is salicylic acid, is exposed to reaction with nitric acid, then it gives nitro derivative, that is 2-hydroxy-4-nitrobenzoic acid, again undergoes reduction with ferrous in HCl, it gives para-amino salicylic acid, that nitro group converts to amino group by reduction. It is a structural analog of para-amino benzoic acid, highly specific, combined with isoniazid, okay, and limited to the treatment of MDR TB. Ethionamide, it is a second line anti-TB agent and analog of isonicotinamide, but it is di-substituted and it contains S, sulfur, in the place of oxygen. It contains ethyl group at position 2nd. It inhibits mycolic acid synthesis. It also may be used for treatment of leprosy. Ethionamide is used to treat tuberculosis. Ethionamide must be given in combination with other tuberculosis medications and should not be used alone. Rifampicin. Rifampicin or rifamycins. These are the group of macrocyclic antibiotics which are produced by Streptomyces mediterranei. Macrocyclic means huge cycle or macrocycle. There can be many more cycles, benzene cycles. Eventually, 7 rifamycins were developed. They are rifamycin A, B, C, D, E, S and SV. Rifampicin is a semi-synthetic rifamycin made from rifamycin B, which is isolated from Streptomyces mediterranei in 1957. It is an analog of that Streptomycin mediterranei rifamycin B enzyme. Among the various rifamycins, rifamycin B was the first commercial product. Now MOA, rifamycin interferes with RNA transcription in MTB and it binds to the beta subunits of DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme and it forms a complex. That complex inhibits transcription of messenger RNA, mRNA, okay, and the mRNA transcripts the essential requirements for protein synthesis. So they are useful in treating tuberculosis, leprosy, Mycobacterium avium complex infection and Staphylococcus infection. Now, it was the first effective drug which is developed for the treatment of tuberculosis. It is first aminoglycoside antibiotic. It was first developed by 1943 by Salman Abraham Waxman and received a Nobel Prize for that. So the structure is like this. Streptomycin is made up of 3 basic structural units. So first one is streptidin. From the right side we can see it as streptidin. Then middle one is the streptose sugar. It is a aldose sugar. Aldehyde group is present, which is indicated in the form of a red color, CHO. And the third one is N-methyl L-glucosamine. So MOA, aminoglycosides binds to the specific 30S, 50S subunits ribosomal proteins. Protein synthesis is inhibited by them in at least 3 ways. So they block the formation of initiation of 70S ribosomal mRNA complex. They can induce misreading of the code on the mRNA template, so which causes the incorporation of incorrect amino acids into peptides, which results into non-functional or abnormal protein synthesis. And third one is inhibit translocation. Now capreomycin. It is an antibiotic which is given in combination with other antibiotics for the treatment of tuberculosis, and it is specially second line treatment which is used for the active drug resistant tuberculosis. Okay. So if the R group is OH, that is hydroxyl group, then it can be called as a capreomycin IA, and if it is acquired by H, then it can be called as a capreomycin IB. It is a peptide protein synthesis inhibitor, antibiotic obtained from Streptomyces capreolus. It is the treatment of drug resistant tuberculosis. So it is the strain of M. tuberculosis that are resistant to streptomycin or amikacin, and it is susceptible to capreomycin. Nephrotoxic and ototoxic are the side effects. Okay, and vestibular disturbances occurs. Cycloserine again, one more. It is also from that class. Kanamycin and amikacin, these are also from antibiotic classes. So what is MDR then? Multi-drug therapy, MDT. So multi-drug therapy to treat TB means taking several different drugs at the same time. So they can be combined to delay the development of resistance, to reduce toxicity, and to shorten the course of treatment. So the drugs which are most used commonly are rifampicin, isoniazid, pyrazinamide and ethambutol. You can remember this as a RIPE, R-I-P-E. So World Tuberculosis Day, it is celebrated on the 24th of the March. Okay, so what is tuberculosis? We should know about this. What are the symptoms? Then how we can stop this TB? This also important, and the drugs that are used to treat this TB, and also the drugs which are used to treat the resistant TB also. So thank you so much.